Hi again. So this case study is going to be the case of Maria, and this is in Fantini 2016. So Maria is a 22-year-old college student living in northern Italy, but she's originally from southern Italy. She came to the university counseling center with some test anxiety and some lack of confidence in self-advocacy. So she lives with her roommate and has troubles asking the roommate to do her fair share of chores. And she's also having issues enough with tests that she is, her grades are slipping. So the clinician assumed that since they were both from the same macro culture of being Italian, and since they were both living in northern Italy, that they would share the same values, but they came from different micro cultures because Maria was from southern Italy. She was from Sicily. So Maria's main TA question coming in was, how can I be more confident? And so the TA assessor ended up, she had kind of this maternal instinct to take care of and help Maria. And there was some countertransference going on that she really needed to get over before she could help Maria further. She wanted Maria to share her own cultural values of assertiveness and individualism. But the reality is that in southern Italy, it's much more collectivistic, much more family-oriented, family honor-driven, whereas northern Italy is a lot more individualistic. So for the TA assessment, Francesca, the assessor, did an MMPI and found that Maria had a really low self-esteem, a high sense of self-inefficacy, and an inability to express anger and be assertive. So she got, she also, one of the main and surprising findings was she got the lowest possible score for the family problems section of the MMPI, which was interesting because she had not brought up any family problems coming into the TA. So she did start to talk about them after they had reviewed the MMPI results, and they found out that her father and her mother had really high expectations for her and were pretty hypercritical of her mistakes. So they had high expectations for her doing housework, and there was especially in terms of relationships, she had a situation where she was in a relationship and kissed someone else, and everyone, her whole family and lots of her community and stuff, basically shamed her for it. So there's also some issues with boundaries. Her mom has her email password and is frequently sort of involved in her emails and financials, even though she's an adult. And the therapist, Francesca, really was feeling like Maria should feel frustrated about all of this. And she was wanting her to feel angry at her family about this, but really Maria just felt helpless. And so the therapist had to kind of realize that there were differences in their microcultures, and that Maria, as a Sicilian woman, had different contexts to her. So instead of forcing her to confront the issue that she thought that should be confronted, which is the boundaries and maybe changing the email passcode, etc., she let Maria come in and say, you know what, I think I want to work on the situation of asking my roommate for help, because that was what was salient to Maria at the time. So they tried to do a role play where the therapist was playing the roommate and Maria was herself, but Maria felt a lot of shame and didn't really want to do it. And so they talked about that embarrassment and where it was rooted. And actually that was a major breakthrough moment, because they realized that because of Maria's upbringing and how her family, she needed to be so focused on her family and making sure that she was doing everything that her family asked, and she would get really negative results if she was assertive to her family at all, that meant that now as an adult, she doesn't practice assertiveness. So they didn't get to a point where Maria ever was assertive with her family, but they did get to a point where Maria was able to go to a professor and ask him to change a grade, which was a big deal, and it worked. So now she's planning on using assertiveness in other areas of her life as it comes up. So I connected this to the MMPI that we learned about, obviously, in class. So it was hugely helpful for Maria to be able to find this underlying family issue that was not salient to her coming into therapy. And we obviously are going to be interpreting those for our mock TA clients. So the question I have for you guys is, what are some of the ways that we can make sure that we're not imposing our own cultural values on our clients, particularly those that come from the same macro culture as us, but a different microculture than us?